Hello and welcome to the Ski Summit Real Estate Show. This is show number 78, where we're going to talk about what's important in buying and living in Colorado. I'm your host, Matt Dayton, Cornerstone Real Estate. I'm here with Benji, my producer and live stream sidekick. Hey, Benji.
Howdy do.
And we have a special guest on the show with us today, Rob Mitchell. Before we get going, if you see anything you like, you want to subscribe, we'd always appreciate it. But either way, thanks for watching. So, Rob, thank you so much for being here.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I've known you for a long time.
You've known me before I'd known you. You precluded my existence here in Summit County.
I believe so. I think it was 54 years ago that I came to Summit County, and I was at that time living in Fairplay.
You were in Fairplay back 54 years ago. I didn't even. There was a Fairplay 54 years ago.
That was 1970, and yes, came up, left the military, looking for a new career, and real estate was an interest to me. I didn't know much about it. My dad had been in commercial real estate, but I didn't know what that meant. And then I took the real estate course. With that, I recognize how much there is to selling real estate from a legal standpoint, ethical standpoint, all those kind of aspects. And I think Colorado was kind of leading the charge in that time.
So it wasn't just the wild, wild west back here back then?
I think the wild, wild west stopped in 1969.
Okay.
And I was in 70. So I learned the ins and outs of the real estate world.
Yeah, I bet. Now, you were telling me about a gentleman that you got to meet that was maybe came from a little bit more of the wild, wild west.
Oh, there are some characters in any profession and in the real estate world. I had heard while I was selling property, some of my colleagues, some of those that I was learning from, said, kind of be cautious about a fellow named Art Flanagan. Art is not really up to snuff with some of the legalities, and some kind of the transactions are a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
So I had to get to know this guy. I went to Alma, where he had a little cabin. And I knocked on the door and introduced myself, and Art invited me in. And during that conversation, he had shared how he had been a hard rock miner. And for those of you that know Frisco now, you would not realize, but there is a reservoir up there called Montgomery Reservoir. And as you're driving between Alma and Breckenridge, you'd see that reservoir. And before there was a dam and a reservoir, there was a town named Montgomery that had about 1,400 population, and they were the miners.
So this is a substantial town back then.
Exactly. And for entertainment, they would come into Frisco, and the Alma's only bar.
Yeah.
I was able to get to know one of the ragtime piano players named Edna Miller, and she and her husband played ragtime piano in Alma's only bar 24 hours a day.
Really?
Because they had double shifts, and the day shift would come down and party at night, and the night shift would come and party during the day. So she and her husband would trade off, and that was part of Art's background. He was a miner.
Yeah.
And now he was in his 70s. And so he invited me in, and we had a cup of coffee. And I just said, tell me a little bit about your mining. And he talked about that, and how depressing and how difficult and how challenging.
Oh my gosh.
You can imagine how cold and lonely. Those guys really partied hardy. So I said, how did you transition into real estate? And he said, well, back then it cost $5. And then I began to understand that he really missed out on some of the
Yeah.
education.
Sounds like it. There was not much of a barrier to entry there, I would say. So, my gosh.
For those of you that are familiar with Breckenridge, that's where I spent my winters selling real estate. And you would know the Bergenhof, and the Bergenhof was the base area of the only mountain.
There was one in there, Benji, that when you were flipping through the photos, there was one of the Bergenhof in there.
So with that, there's
there it is. Yep,
there was a limited number of runs, but it was just peak 8. For now, everybody knows there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a pioneer time, and that's the Bergenhof, and where the skiers are putting their skis right there. Just to the left of that shot was the very first condominium. It's called Ski Watch,
which is still there.
And I had a little kiosk, and that kiosk allowed me to show architectural renderings of what we were going to be selling.
Okay.
And so when the weather was really cold and blizzard outside, I was indoors with that kiosk and kind of showing. There you go.
I don't know where that was, actually.
So anyway, that was my opportunity in the summer. I was into farm and ranch marketing.
Okay.
I had a little bit of a background growing up in ranching. So I started out there in the summers in Park County.
Doing the ranching.
And then in the winters, I would drive over the pass, over Hoosier Pass, and I would work with individuals who were attracted to the mountains because of skiing.
Yeah.
And both you and I know that the people came for the skiing and stayed for the summers.
Yeah, still the same today.
And right now, our summer activities and the summer attraction has even greater than our winter.
Especially with everywhere being so dang hot. You get a lot of folks that are coming from very hot climates just for the summer. They don't even have interest in skiing.
And we have bike paths, and we have boating, and we have hiking.
Yeah.
A lot of, and we have outlet malls and stuff like that.
And it's June 6th. Would you say it's summer by now?
Well, you and I have seen snow in every month of the year.
Yes.
I would say we're getting into summer.
Fairly safe. Yeah.
It's 76 degrees.
It's nice out.
It's sweltering.
Yes, it is sweltering. You're wearing a t-shirt, and I'm getting close.
But in the older days, or the long time ago, there were some real characters at the ski area, and you and I were just talking about Trygve Berg.
Yes.
And he was a Norwegian Olympian, and then John Claude Keeley came along.
Yeah.
And so these were iconic ski mentors to the industry.
And you skied with these guys.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And it was like a command performance. If they would call or say, Rob, we need to ski today, you dropped what you were doing.
Yeah.
And you went skiing. And so it was a fun time to be up here. However, things have changed. There are a lot of changes, and there are some dynamic and exciting changes. I love the year round. I can't imagine a place that I'd rather be.
Yeah. You and your wife have been such a big part of this community, and still are. And so we're glad we got you here.
Well, I'd like to come on later, some other show, and maybe talk a little bit more about when the tunnel came through and what it changed and what it did. But it made it accessible, and yet people buy up here so that they can be closer because of the volume of traffic
Mm-hmm.
and the uncertainty.
Yep.
So I recognize why some of the folks are watching and listening in and are wondering, is Summit County for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it was for you 70 or back in 72 and 54 years ago. And now it's still for you. It seems like you.
I can't imagine where I'd go.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
well, great. Well, thank you for that. And next time we get Rob on, we're going to touch on burro races, the pre-tunnel, and we touched a little bit on the One Mountain in Breckenridge, but we'd love to hear some
And
more
we
about
talked
that.
about Edna Miller. And
Yeah, we're gonna have
more.
to learn more about Edna.
Yeah, I couldn't find any pictures of her.
How are we doing on time?
Excellent. Yeah, let's. So next thing, what do we got left on the show today, Benji?
We've got events that are coming up. We've got real estate news. Which one do you think you'd want to do first?
Yeah, let's hit some events.
All right. So this is what's going on in Summit County. This first thing that we've got going on is Rock the Dock in the town of Frisco. I guess they do concerts or something.
Yeah, they do down on the just right at the end of Main Street here. So the Frisco Marina. That's a really nice spot. Probably sat out on that down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Now you never came before the dam was in the lake and all that, or did you?
Well, I was in Colorado at the time that they filled the lake.
Oh, okay.
And
Did you ever see it? The old town of Dillon?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. So Frisco Marina is on Lake Dillon, which is a reservoir, but I think it was mid 60s they filled that up.
64, they started filling it, and I came here in 67 and went across the dam,
Okay.
which was a real eye opener.
Yeah.
And but you're right, it's a man-made, beautiful reservoir that we call Lake Dillon.
Yes, Lake Dillon, Reservoir Dillon. So this is right at the end of Frisco Main Street. That's going to be where they're going to have this concert on Friday. So definitely, or wait, tonight. That's tonight.
Is it tonight?
I don't know. When did it say? I forgot already.
Let me do this here. Share this tab. Music lineup.
Yeah.
Vincent
Thursday at
Campbell.
4. Yep. So Rock the Dock happening. Got to line up some music, so that'll be good.
Very cool. The next thing that we've got going on is this First Friday summer kickoff party.
Yeah, that's right over in your neck of the woods, right down there.
Oh, that's
Have you been to the First
Silverthorne? Oh, yeah.
First Fridays are a ton of fun. So yeah, just a good opportunity. So many people show up for this First Friday kickoff. Looks like they got some bands going on, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Couldn't be a nicer day.
It's going to be a really nice day for First Friday.
Predicted.
Yeah, we'll take it. We were all
And here's the event
ready to thaw out.
right
So,
there on Facebook if anybody's interested.
Yep. So that'll be down there at the Silverthorne Pavilion, First Friday. Make sure you catch that. It's tomorrow night.
Those
So,
are the upcoming events. And then we've got some real estate news. We'll do the referendum one first.
yeah. So this has kind of been a topic that we keep hitting on a lot. This referendum petition has been filed by the town of Dillon. They basically got 211 signatures on the petition to protest the approval of this development of the 200 condominiums and 3 restaurants. So they're saying if it's certified, it's going to trigger consideration of the project by the town council, which might lead to a referendum vote. Colorado state law allows registered voters 40 days to lodge a written protest against the petition, which could lead to a hearing to determine whether this is its sufficiency. So proponents of the referendum efforts include Robin Robinson, Luis Scaura, who expressed concerns about the size of the scale of the project. So if approved, the development includes public and private amenities, but critics question the lack of workforce housing and potential traffic and noise issues. So the developer has defined the approved project, arguing that it offers benefits over what could be built under existing zone regulations. And then he's tried to work with the county and the town to come up with something that works for everybody. So we'll see where that goes with that referendum, if it takes teeth and if it changes anything. So
Yeah. His thing almost sounds like this veiled professional threat.
it certainly does, and it's. I wish I was smart enough to know which direction this whole thing could go or should go, but
Yeah.
you gotta it'd just be really nice if the town and the developer can continue to play nice together and come up with something that works for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
And I think it looks good. I think the big thing that they don't like is that it's like a floor taller than everything that's around it.
it is big, but it's the alternatives of what would fit inside the parameters of what he could build could be worse. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and then here we've got our other one. Basin is actually closing up.
yeah, you did some instruction at Basin, haven't you, in the past?
I've instructed there in Keystone. Basin, I've always celebrated my birthday on the 14th of May.
Okay.
And that's a tradition. And so they were going to hold it open until mid-June, but I think the conditions have deteriorated right now. So
May 14th, put that on your calendar, show up at Basin.
Yeah, but that might be Trigby right there.
Right there. Yeah. Yeah. So
it's a spread eagle.
So yeah, they're going long this year. So 222 days of skiing. Have you ever gotten 222 days of skiing in a year?
I have not. That's a lot of skiing.
That is a lot of skiing in a
we
year.
both know people who've skied every month of the year.
Yes.
And
yeah,
they make it a lifestyle.
4th of July Bowl.
Yeah.
In Breckenridge.
Now that I used to be involved in.
Yeah.
We'd have to drive up there.
Yeah, I've done the 4th of July Bowl once before. That's pretty fun. So, yeah. What do we got next, Benji?
Next is the market update. Do you have something to show us or anything?
Yeah, I'll share a screen here. So, as I'm getting ready to do that, actually, one of the interesting things that I've been doing a little research on is kind of what's hot and what's not. And 30% of our transactions right now that are going on, things that are under contract, are between $1 million and $1.5 million. So that's kind of a small segment of the market that's taken up a lot of that market. So we're seeing a lot of properties that are in that price range, maybe more towards the lower end of that, $1.2 million, that are fixed up and ready to go, looking nice. And that we're actually seeing multiple offers in those types of situations. So there's other areas of the market that are just kind of sitting and not really getting a whole lot of activity and a whole lot of action. But that is definitely an area that we're seeing a lot more activity in. So things that are maybe just kind of a little bit more dated, older, and outside of that price range, maybe even a little bit higher, are seeing some more time just sitting on the market a little bit longer. So as far as an update on kind of what we're seeing right now with for year to date, we're actually seeing the new listings. We're up by about 18% year to date. Sales are down by about 2%. Actually, sorry. Let me just make sure we're in the right, only Summit County. My bad. So we're actually, here we are. So we're still down about 2% of sold listings. New listings are actually up quite a bit, 24%. Days on market, it's taken a bit longer. Median days on market is 84. So that's allowing that inventory to build up more so that we have more properties that are been on the market, and those, a lot more new listings. So that's where we're seeing our inventory get a place above. We're about 550 listings on the market. So that's still pretty low though. All things considered. How many listings did you guys have on the market in Summit County back then?
With the 35 or so real estate brokers, we all had probably maybe 10.
Okay. Yeah, maybe 10 with 35 brokers. Still about the same ratio. So you guys are all competing for 10 listings.
Your realtor population now?
700 licensed people about.
Okay. Well, with the licensees, we probably had 100, but
Okay.
typically you and I talk about those who are active.
Right.
Some are part-time and such. And that was a ratio. But in future discussions, we can talk a little bit about the fluctuation of the market itself.
Yeah.
And with that changes the numbers of active real estate brokers, right?
Absolutely.
There are few that stay through the highs and the lows. And I think you're one of those, along with a few of the long-timers, very few.
Yeah. There are some that have, 20, 30, 40
But
years.
they've learned technology, and I just refuse.
Well,
As I shared with Benji.
an industry that is about an 84% dropout rate.
Oh,
It's,
Yeah.
I think that's the National Association of Realtor Statistics. So, but at any rate, and our average sales price for properties is 1.3 million. That's up 13%. So,
Look at this one though.
looky there.
This is the highest one, right?
That's the highest priced one. Yeah. And this one was just north of Silverthorne,
Oh, here, I'll pull up the map.
just outside of town. And this one,
Silverthorne.
is going to be a really private, secluded property. I believe it's on 20 acres of land.
Yeah.
But that's our highest price that's gone under contract here recently. Hasn't been built yet, so it's a new build.
TBD.
Yeah, TBD and Whetstone. We went over this one a little bit before on another episode, but it's a $5 million property. When did you guys ever hit over $1 million? Remember?
well, I sold a ranch for $1 million in my first year,
Did you really?
Whoa.
and there were at least 7 people at the closing, several attorneys and accountants, and it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And I took 1/4 of the, coming back to a commission situation, I got 1/4 of that, and it was the amount of the annual average income in those days was $12,000.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I thought, this is really going to be a great career. First year,
And then
I had earned 2 annual incomes.
yeah.
And then the next year, there was a law change. And with that Senate Bill 35, I lost what I had invested in because easy come, easy go. And so I became a little more conservative in my.
The rules changed on you. Gosh, it's funny how they do that.
You're seeing a little bit of that in this day and age, aren't we?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So
That
Anyway.
brings us to the MLS check, where I've got 3 new properties today. First one starts at $495. It's a single family residence out in Breckenridge.
So a single family residence in Breckenridge, $495. Is there a catch?
In the town limits?
No.
Oh.
Let's see how far away.
You're
That's
out
not
there.
bad. Whoa.
Yeah. So you have summer access by driving, and winter access, you're going to get in there by snowmobile and skis.
But man, if you want to get away.
It's so pretty.
If you're an author and you want time
Yeah.
away.
A poet. Yeah.
How about DoorDash?
You could live there. I mean, you do everything, as long as you had good Wi-Fi,
Good
right?
tips. Yeah, you need a tip too if you're getting DoorDash all the way out
Yeah.
there.
DoorDash is going to be coming to you on cross country.
There's even a mine cart inside of it. Look at that.
That is cool. How they get, yeah.
How many people had to lift that?
Yeah, that was not light. So
I bet they built the house around it.
That's like a lodge.
it is. It doesn't look like, and it's, I mean, this looks like just a place you go ski to. This would be fun.
Yeah. And who do you know who has the resources that needs that?
Do you?
in my dreams.
Yeah, we'll go up. But oh gosh, the settings around this place is just so cool. It reminds me of some of the huts, some of the hut places, the summit huts and stuff, and the 10th Mountain Division huts. You could have your own private hut. That's
What
pretty
was this back here? Is this just like a tool shed or
Oh yeah, or an outhouse.
outhouse?
Oh, I was going to say,
Yeah, an outhouse.
that's the only drawback.
Yeah, this outhouse.
Yeah, I didn't see any plumbing or bathrooms or anything.
You might have I wonder what they got there. They might have like a composting toilet or something like that. That's
I think it's worth you just coming up and taking a look at it.
I think so. It looks like fun.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it is. So 4x4 needed in the winter. So maybe you can drive up to it in the winter time. I guess you can. Needs
It's
a
not in the
septic.
Honda Civic.
Oh no. Well, it depends on how much speed you have.
It's a Honda Civic. Are you kidding me? It's so
Going
fast.
down is no problem.
Yeah.
It's all downhill.
Sports cars.
Yeah.
All right, here's our next one. This is in Breckenridge also. What is a single family?
Yeah, single family home.
I
Great
should have read
price
it on the
point,
last page.
780,000. Great lot. This one just backs up to National Forest, so you got tons of privacy. I thought it was a really good setting and a good price point for a single family property in Breckenridge. So I thought this one would be a good opportunity and a good deal. Nice big
Ooh, look
mature
at that.
forest and trees around it.
Hmm.
It's got a new septic system installed on it.
Open floor plan. I like that.
Spiral staircase.
And yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, nice and bright. And you could short-term rent this one. You could get a license for this one to short-term rent if somebody wanted to do that. Kind of a good investment opportunity, just a sold as is type of property. So I'm sure there's some things that might be, well, I don't know. There could be some things as far as getting financing on it, but sometimes that's when they say sold as is, it might be the issue. But it's a great price point.
I like these ones. This is so different than what we usually do.
Yeah, just kind of doing some real deals.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. No, this is a cool
Uh-oh. I found where they keep the guy.
The guy.
That guy.
Who's the guy?
The maintenance guy.
What was that guy's name? Art? That's where Art lives.
Oh, look at that. There's like cobblestone steps and everything.
Going up the back there. That's
You can
cool.
use them for about a
Let me
month
go
out of
over
the
there
year.
and take a look at that. Do a little recon on that one.
Oh, wow. Where is
We
this
need
at?
some work. Where's that?
I don't know. It's a whole nother building, I guess.
Yeah, that's above the garage. I've been in this property.
You have?
A long time ago. Yeah. Yeah, look kind of like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, we're coming up to the last one. This is a condo in Frisco for $1,040,000. And look, that's got a big old stream running behind it.
That is what I like about this one. Just your walking distance to all the stuff in Main Street, Breckenridge, and you got the 10 Mile Creek right behind you. So the setting, I don't know. I don't know about you. You have a creek.
You said Breckenridge was this Frisco?
Frisco. I don't know. Did I say Breckenridge? Yeah, you have a creek. You're one of the few people. You got a creek.
We call it a stream.
And
we named it Bruce Spring Stream.
Okay. You know what? You're on par for the humor, though. You got it.
Yeah, it definitely is on par.
All we do is talk about Dumb and Dumber and dad jokes.
Yeah,
we could do that.
You fit right in.
I like this stuff. This is a condo?
This is a condo. Yeah, condo in the heart of Frisco.
1,300 square feet. That's a pretty good size for a condo out there.
Yeah, not bad at all. And just having that creek, I'd love to just, just get a nice deck. You open up the windows. Yeah. Could use some updating, but gosh, the location.
Oh, look at that. Big old porch.
Big. And you got nice views of Mount Royal back there. Yeah, that's a good spot.
And it's right near the trailhead, isn't it?
Yeah, you got the trailhead going up there right across the road there. Yep, right across Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good spot. Buy that and go over to the Rock the Dock tonight.
Look at that. It's really like that.
It is really like that, Benji.
I've never seen a picture like that. They're always like this in the distance.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
now here's the mountains in an intersection. That's too
Yeah.
cool.
It's kind of in this little valley, and yeah.
And if you're into such things, you can go from that location on your bike over to Vail, have lunch, come on back over, take a nap.
Yeah, you're gonna need a nap. An e-bike. Take an e-bike.
That's
Yeah.
all I've got for you today.
Awesome. Well, cool. Thanks, Benji. Appreciate it. Rob, thank you so much for being here.
Hey, Matt.
Thank you all for joining us. This has been the Ski Summit Real Estate Show. Please give us a like and subscribe. We love having you here. And if ever you want to come back and give us any comments, we're always open. Have a wonderful day and hope to see you in the mountains.
See ya.
Bye.